I don't think you guys are aware of how powerful your mind is. I know I've done other videos on this, but there's always so many different topics and ways of me explaining this to you. And until you start to really realize the power of your mind and how you are in the driver's seat of your life, you're not a passenger, and that you can really alter and shape your life and your days coming ahead rather than life just happening to you, then you can really start to manage your thoughts better and start to harness your thoughts because your thoughts are powerful. We are energy beings. What we're putting out there is what we are creating on a daily basis. So that's why you see people that are always talking about how bad their life is, how unhealthy they are, how, oh, well, you, this is what happens to me all the time. Or, when a lot of bad things start to happen to some people, they're like, well, what do you expect? This is what happens when things get bad, they get worse, or whatever, the terminology that people like to use, right? And the reason why is because there's a subconscious part of our brain that starts to look for more of that, to solidify what we are thinking. And we don't realize this on a conscious basis. So when you're saying, things just keep getting worse, then you are literally programming your mind to look for things that are worse. The bad things in the world, the bad things in your life, the bad things in relationships, the bad things with your health. And you are honed in on what is tearing your life down. You're honed in on what is, the wrong things that are going happening in your life that is making things wrong. And so you're consistently attracting that in your life because that is where your awareness is. And so when we start to have that other awareness that we have power in our thoughts in our day-to-day life, and I know at first some people are thinking, oh, there's no way this is true. Humor me. Just humor me with this. Take a week, take 2 weeks. And instead of ever saying or thinking, I'm unhealthy or, things go wrong in my life, wake up in the morning. Actually, before you go to bed, write out what you want your next day to be. Write it out in a journal, all the things, positive, wonderful. Things might bubble up in your mind because you're so used to thinking negative that you just dismiss it. Okay, cancel that. I'm going to just write out all the things I want. You're going to go to sleep. You're going to wake up in the morning. Be aware of your first thoughts. Because what happens is that so many of us are thinking such negative things first thing in the morning. First thing, oh my God, this and this and this, and I can't afford this, and all these things I have to do, and these people are bothering me, or this is going on in my relationship, and then you start to plummet right first thing. And then what do? What's the next thing? People grab their phone, and then they look at social media. And typically what happens is that if you were in that negative state before, and you start to look at your phone, then the algorithm is already going to be showing you what you were looking at. And so it's already programmed in because the algorithm starts to match what you were watching prior. So negative stuff, horrific stuff, fearful stuff, things that are feeding your mind. Even if you are in this day and age of thinking like, well, this is truth. Well, it's only truth based on what you think is truth. But remember years ago, back in like the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, before we had cell phones or, technology where we're completely seeing what's going on in the world, we were really just focused on our town or our small city, what was going on in it, and our family. And so that's why when you think about the early days, fear didn't seem to be big because we were only focused on what was going on in our community and our family. And that was beautiful because guess what? What's going on in the rest of the world, you can't help. You can't do anything to change that and all that negative stuff. All you can do is be the best version of yourself, and you can change your family and you can change your community, and then that will ripple out. And so that's why I tell people when you go on, like when you are going on this new form of wanting to manifest a better life and creating a better life for yourself, and so that you can get in the driver's seat of your life, it's really important for you to cut out social media for a bit. And that can be, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. And if you feel even better when you're not on it, then you know what? You can continue that detox of social media. And then instead, like when you decide to go on it, start to purposely go on to positive things, funny, motivational, uplifting, and start putting in those into the search engine of whatever your social media is, for that to start to become the algorithm and only focusing on those things, because that is also possible. And then that way, when you do reach for your phone, you're not seeing all that negative stuff that starts to bombard you. And of course, there's always things that come into your feed, because that's a reality. The propaganda right now is making sure that we're fed fear, because then we are being believed that we're not in the driver's seat of our life. And then what happens if you're not in the driver's seat of your life? Well, outside sources can control you. And that's what they want. They want to be able to feed your mind what they want, control you what they want, because they can sell you then what they want. Sell you the bad food, sell you the junk food, sell you the pharmaceutical drugs, sell you all this stuff that is like benefiting them. And so just be aware of that as well, that what you are putting out and feeding your mind is really, it's feeding your whole entire body, and it's feeding your subconscious mind as well. So getting back to getting in the driver's seat. So as you get up and you avoid the phone if you can first thing in the morning, you get up and you really focus on what it is that you want to accomplish throughout the day. And you focus on going out for a walk, moving your body. If that's really hard for you, try to move around within your house. Do some wall push-ups. Do stuff that you can do. There are things you can do. And if you've in the past made every excuse in the book not to be able to move your body or do the things that you want to do or begin to do, that is your old you. This is the new you. This is the you that's in the driver's seat. This is the you that is creating the life that you want. And so by focusing on what it is that you want to create within tomorrow, the next day, weeks, months, years from now, become that version of you right now. And in order to do that, like I said, journaling is really important so that you're getting clarity of what it is that you want to do and what you want to become. And so that when you're on your walk, you're like, whew, I'm feeling so good today. I'm so healthy. Even if you're not, I'm so healthy, feeling it. What would a healthy person do? Okay, so that's the next step. What would a healthy person do if you were already healthy, even if you are not currently there? Well, then you would probably put healthier versions of food in your body. Even if you're like, I don't really like this because I'm so used to having so much sugar that my taste buds are so altered that regular healthy food doesn't taste great. Well, guess what? The future version of yourself that's healthy is going to like this. So you just start telling yourself, and you start feeding it to yourself, and you start altering the way you think by what you're putting into your body. This tastes really good. I like this. This tastes really good. You know what? I'm already starting to feel a difference with this. We have so much control within our mind. And then as you start this process, like this is just day one, guys. This is day one. Day one is never the easiest because again, you spent years and years and years in this negative process. You spent years and years and years as a backseat driver thinking that the world is just happening to you. You have no control over anything. And now all of a sudden you have that awareness and that realization that you do. So day one is not going to be as easy because those old thoughts are going to keep trying to bombard you. Day two is going to be a little bit easier. By, day 7, you're out for a walk and you're looking for things that make you happy. Look at that beautiful tree. This is fall. Look at the beautiful colors. Oh my God, look at that bird. Oh my gosh, I'm walking by the river. How lucky am I that I get to do this? Oh my gosh, I have food on my plate. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. Gratitude will shift your energy. Gratitude will put you into a different vibrational frequency that you were not in before because you're in this low zone of feeling sorry for yourself and drowning in sorrow and drawing in pity, drawing in depression. And a lot of that is just because of the way we've been currently thinking. Now, I'm not talking about people that have had tons of horrific traumas as a child. But what I'm saying is that a lot of people that I'm talking to these days, a lot of teenagers especially, what's happening and the reason why they are so depressed is that they're so focused on depressed. And then what do? They go on to all these chat forums, and then they have these groups where everybody else is depressed and everybody else has anxiety, and that they funnel down. They're not going to be able to get out of that. What do you do when you're in that state? You reach and look for and communicate and get in contact, or you watch videos on the version of yourself that you want to become. That is how you get to the next version. That's how you get to your better self, because your best self is already within you. You've just stuffed it down. So what you do is you watch those. And even though if you think those people that are online that you've been communicating with for a long time are your friends, they're just online people. They're not your friends. I'm sorry to say that. I know a lot of people will get up in arms with that, but they're not your friends. People that are your friends, people that you're talking to on the phone, they're going to come over and hang out with you. They're going to uplift you. So, and there's a lot of people, when you become on this journey, I'm telling you this right now, when you get on this journey of upliftment and you get in the driver's seat of your life and you start to feeling good and you start to shift and change and your mind is shifting and changing, your life is shifting and changing, your body is shifting and changing, those people are not going to like it. They're going to pull you down. They're going to attempt to pull you down. They're going to attempt, but they're not going to succeed, because you have such a high, strong awareness and faith in knowing that you are in control of your life, because you are now in control of your thoughts. And no matter what is out there saying, oh no, this is something you can't get out of and da da da, you can. This is old patterns and blueprint. And like I was saying, the propaganda of people that are out there wanting you to stay in that low zone so that they're profiting from you. Okay. So you are capable. You are able in every way to come out of that state. Now you're on track, and then you are in control of your thoughts. Things are starting to move and shift. You've allowed those people to stay out of your life. You've now started to focus on people online that are inspirational, and they've accomplished really hard things and they've come out on top, and they are boosting people's morals and values and self-worth, because that's what happens with true power, is that with real power, you are boosting others up. You're pulling other people up and joining you, instead of, people that, you see this, people that think they're powerful and then they're putting other people down. That's not real power. That's ego. That is just, people that have false confidence. That is just part of ego that is going on. It is not, or narcissism, but real self-confidence. When somebody is really confident in themselves, they want people to be brought up as well. Why? Because they know that there is enough for everybody in this world. There is enough money, there is enough food, there is enough wealth and abundance of every single kind. And we've led to believe that we're limited. We're limited in things. And what happens when we're led to believe in limitation is that we're all fighting in competition. And that, again, is on purpose. And that does not exist. We're an abundant world, and we can create. We are creators. Just think about things that you wanted to do when you were a kid and that you've created. That what came from a thought, and then you took that thought and you started to have that belief that that could happen, and you took action in that belief, and then you created it. This is how everything works. And so nothing is different in the sense of where you are today, regardless of where you are today, that you can create that beautiful life for yourself in a very short period of time. So, and like also too with faith, having just like this innate faith within you. And faith doesn't necessarily have to do with religion, because I know a lot of people that maybe had bad experiences with religion, they don't like to talk about faith, but faith is really just having an awareness of self, being connected to self, and understanding that we're all one with each other. And in the big scheme of things, because what we do, again, like I said, ripples out and affects everybody else. And then that ripples out from them and them and them and them. We are all connected in that way. So having an innate faith that things are going to work out for us and trusting in that, then we're starting to look for that. And then things are going to unfold in miraculous ways that you've never seen before, because you were in a different state of mind in the past and didn't realize that this reality that you're now living is so possible, and that the creation, that the wealth and abundance is available to you always and forever. Your health can be altered. Your life can be altered. I don't care where you are at in your life right now. It can be shifted. Be aware of your thoughts. Begin to journal. Look for things to be grateful in. You may have heard of this, but if you're not doing it, then you didn't get it. You haven't got it. Step into that. Embody that. I'll talk to you in the next video.